Lifelong royalties, kind of what does that mean? So on both sides of it, right? So on the Web 2 side of it, in your traditional, 3D marketplace, right? The asset that you're selling is, you sell it and then you sell it again and then again and again. And it causes, there's no level of scarcity. There's no incentive on the buyer. The buyer takes on 100% of the risk, right? And one of the things that we change is that instead of just letting users say, okay, I'm gonna sell an infinite amount of this asset, now you have to say, okay, I'm setting aside 100 of these assets. I'm gonna sell 100 or 1,000 of these assets. And then that's all for that batch. What that kind of changes is, one, it creates this buyer scarcity. Not everything is as diluted. And two, what it does is it changes how you make your money. Beforehand, you sell each and every one. Now you're selling out your collection, and then your collection, has worth to it. Each individual piece of it has its own life, so to speak. If a buyer uses your asset in a Hollywood movie, and then they, do all their licensure transfer, all of that stuff, and then later on resell it as a movie prop at the end to try and recoup costs, and they sell it for multiple times of what it's worth, you're still gonna see a chunk of that. This creates these kind of unique opportunities that weren't there in the original market. The original market's almost dry in comparison. And the real idea behind these little gimmicks, so to speak, is to kind of revitalize this creator economy, to not make it so stale and so poor for the average creator. And then it also reduces the risk on the buyer. And I think that's something that's pretty cool. The way that we do our licensure, it kind of allows you to say, hey, the user can use this in their stuff for the time that they own it. And once they're done owning it, they lost, the rights to continue making new things with that. So if the buyer, makes an indie video game or something like that and it flops, then they can sell their assets back off in a liquidation. They can, try and recoup some of that funds. And then you, as the creator, aren't being, cut out of that. It's not that someone's secretly re-uploading it on some other platform. Now you're actually getting paid through a legitimate way to see funds on that forever, even if the buyer chooses to give up the asset. It's a new way to create the immortal revenue without creating a flooded market.